We've all seen them, right? These big social programs with amazing intentions. Programs to reduce crime or improve health or boost education. But let's be honest, why do so many of them, with all that funding and effort, just seem to fall flat? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the hidden reason why by looking at their core design, the very foundation they're built.
It is such a frustrating question. You see tons of resources, tons of time poured into solving these huge social problems, but the results, they just don't match the ambition. It really makes you wonder if we're just throwing money at things without a real strategy. And you know what? A lot of the time, that's exactly where the problem is, in the plan itself.
So the way we usually look at these programs is what experts call a black box evaluation. Think about it like this. We see the money and the people that go in on one end, and we see the results, or, the lack of results that come out the other. But what's happening on the inside? The actual process, the how and why it's supposed to work? That's a total mystery. And here's the thing. If you don't understand why something failed, there's just no way you can fix it.
So let's go ahead and crack open that black box and really see what's going on in there.
Our first instinct is usually to blame failure on bad execution. People just not doing their jobs right. But here's a really powerful idea. A program can be run perfectly, with everyone doing exactly what they're supposed to, but if the underlying idea is flawed from the get-go, it was never going to work. You just can't build a strong house on a cracked foundation. It's as simple as that.
And that's where this idea of creating a clear blueprint for the program comes into play.
The whole key here is to make that hidden plan totally explicit. And there's a name for this. It's called the program theory. It's basically the set of assumptions you're making about how your program's activities are actually going to lead to the results you want. This isn't some vague mission statement. It's the specific step-by-step logic that connects what you do to what you get.
And honestly, the best way to think about it is just like that. A blueprint or a recipe. Think about it. A construction crew would never, ever start building a house without a detailed blueprint. A chef isn't going to start cooking a complex meal without a recipe. A program theory does that exact same thing. It's the detailed plan that everyone can look at to see how all the pieces are supposed to fit together.
And this visual just nails the point. On one side, you've got the chaos, right? All the complicated activities and tangled logic of a program that doesn't have a clear plan. But a good program theory, like that clean blueprint on the other side, turns all that complexity into total clarity. It makes the whole thing make sense.
Okay, so you've got your blueprint. You've drawn it all up. The next, absolutely critical question is how do you know if the plan is even viable before you start building?
This is so important. You wouldn't wait until a house is half built to realize a load-bearing wall is in the wrong place, would you? Of course not. You check the blueprint first. Well, for social programs, that process of checking the blueprint has a name. It's called an evaluability assessment. It's all about making sure a program isn't just ready to be measured, but more importantly, that it's actually ready to succeed in the first place.
Now, I gotta be honest with you. When you first see the official flowchart for how this works, it can look a little intense. There are boxes and arrows and feedback loops everywhere. It looks pretty technical.
But thankfully, you can boil that whole intimidating chart down to a few really critical, common-sense questions. You just have to ask them before you start. First, is everyone actually on the same page about the goals? 2, is the plan, the logic, actually written down and clear for everyone to see? And here's a huge one. Is it even plausible that what you're planning to do can get you the results you want? And finally, are the people in charge actually willing to listen to the results and make changes? If the answer to any of those is no, well, your program just isn't ready.
All right, so let's dig in a little deeper and pull this blueprint apart. What are the actual components that make it up?
A really solid program theory is going to have 3 distinct but totally interconnected parts. You can see how they fit together in this diagram. So let's break down each one. First up, at the very heart of it all, is the impact theory. This is the cause and effect engine of the whole program. It's asking that super simple question. If we do this thing, will it really cause that thing to happen? This is the fundamental scientific-ish logic for why the program should work at all. Okay, next up is the service utilization plan. Because let's face it, you can have the most brilliant program in the world, but if nobody shows up, it's completely useless. This part of the plan details exactly how you're going to reach the right people, get them in the door, and keep them coming back. In our blueprint analogy, these are the doors, the windows, the hallways, all the parts that make sure people can actually get to the service.
And finally, we've got the organizational plan.
This is all the nuts and bolts. Do you have the right people, enough funding, the right facilities, a management structure that can actually pull this off? This is the foundation of the house and the construction crew building it. Without them, the blueprint is just a nice drawing on a piece of paper.
So when you put all of this together, what's the big takeaway here? What does this all mean?
Well, what this all boils down to is this. When we force ourselves to actually build and check a program's blueprint, we move beyond just hoping for the best. It takes us from wishful thinking to having a clear, a plausible, and a defensible strategy for making real change happen.
And you know, this whole idea was summed up perfectly by an evaluation pioneer named Carol Weiss. She said we have to get inside that black box and we have to do it systematically. And laying out a program theory, that blueprint we've been talking about, is the best way to do exactly that.
So the next time you see a headline or hear about a new initiative to tackle some big social problem, you'll be able to ask the single most important question there is. Beyond the good intentions, beyond the budget, what's its blueprint?